Welcome everyone to week 2 of the Ravenhall Cup. This week took 2 weeks to happen, mainly due to certain things happening with various teams, them going missing, them being tracked down, one team potentially poisoning another team. Goodness knows what was happening, but we finally got under wraps. We got the military police out there and they put things in order. Now there is still 2 teams yet to play a game, so we're tracking them down. They have gone into hiding, but we are hot on their trail and we know exactly where they're going to be and we're going to force them to play. Yeah. Alright, first up we had the Vandals take on the Puff Peak Pacifists in week 2. Yeah, Puff Peak Pacifists, being Orcs, took that game out 3-0 against the Vandals. Vandals being the Black Orcs. Yeah. So the Orcs did 4 casualties, but 0 deaths and 0 missing next game, while the Black Orcs caused 3 casualties with the Puff Peak Pacifist Blitzer missing the next game. So very good. On game number 2 we had their Evansburg Distinguished Daredevils going down to the Hillside Dragons 2-1. The Devils missing their linemen for next game, and the Dragons have 1 skink dead casualty. So not too much of a hit towards the Dragons, but you know, Devils struggling into week 2, going into week 3 with a few down, a few guys that they have to replace just with some crowd turn up to the game and ask who wants to play for the day. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. Game number 3 we had the Diggers, the Dwarves, versus the Fat Crackers being the Ogres. Now the Dwarves were able to pull out the win 1-0, with the Dwarf causing 5 casualties, killing 3 Snotlings, but all the Ogres are fine. Very tough game. The Diggers are proving to be a very grindy team. Very hard to come up against those Dwarves. Not scoring huge amounts, but they're getting the wins on the board. Alright, game number 4. We had the Green Phlegm Hackers being the Nurgle team versus the Chef Knuckle Sandwich being the Halfling team. How did that go? Guess what? Halflings pulled off the win 1-0. There were 4 injuries. 2 of the Halflings are out until the next match. They had rain on the pitch, hampering play, which is what stopped the Green Phlegm Hackers gaining a touchdown on the last turn in the second half. So yeah, now a few Halflings were thrown into the mix. They grabbed the ball and kept running the ball away from the Green Phlegm Hackers. There were no injuries on the Hackers team. The Halflings scored on the first turn of the first half. Then they just fumbled with the ball in the rain for the pretty much the rest of the half, or most part of the game it seems. So yeah, great win to the Chef's Knuckle Sandwich. Very unexpected, but the rain helped them out, and flinging those Halflings across the field and them landing and running into the touchdown zone, fantastic. Alright, game number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We had the Flamers versus the newly announced name of the Safari Coast Bombers. Very good High Elves, not taking on that 20,000 gold piece fine by coming up with their name. Now, with the name came the win. They won 2-1 over the St. Albans Flamers. The Bombers suffered a few missed next game and 2 deaths. There's more details coming through on that. Now, investigations are being taken into the Point Cook Pugilists and the West End Chaos Warriors, 2 teams that have gone missing. We do not know whether both teams have gone missing, whether they're both hiding out from each other, not wanting to play each other, or whether one team has done some dastardly thing hiding the other one out. So we don't know that yet. Now, week 3 is soon to begin. We have 1 game played in week 3. But what we're going to do is I will show you the ladder. It does include a week 3 result, unfortunately. However, it's worth taking a look at what the ladder looks like at the moment. So I'm just getting that up on the screen now. Alright, so as you can see, we have the Puff Peak Pacifist at the top. Really, they would be even. Let's just count them as 2 wins. Yes, they got a 3rd win in week 3. Unfortunately, I can't not show that. Diggers sitting on there with 2 wins, 0 losses, along with the Hillside Dragons. So we've got 3 teams storming ahead with 0 losses. Now they're followed up by, well, West End Chaos Warriors and the Point Cook Pugilists still have to play, but the West End Chaos Warriors did have a win. Now they're closely followed by the Safari Coast Bombers, 2 games, only 1 win. The Flamers, the Fat Crackers, and the Chef Knuckle Sandwiches all coming up, trying to find a placing outside of the top 3. Down the bottom, what we have are those that have not picked up a win yet. We have the Point Cook Pugilists. Once again, we're still looking for them. Green Flame Hackers, Vandals, and Evansburg Distinguished Daredevils. So it's looking to be quite an interesting 3 weeks to come. We're going to have some further games. Let's take a look at week 3 coming up. Right, so we have the Fat Crackers versus the St. Albans Flamers. Both those teams, the Fat Crackers, they've already got a win and a loss, going up against the St. Albans Flamers, who have also got a win as well. So that's going to be a very good game. They're both neck and neck with each other. We've got the Safari Coast Bombers with their 1 win versus the Hillside Dragons, who are sitting on 2 wins. So if we were looking at favourites on that, the Hillside Dragons are favourites for that game. In regards to that first game, Fat Crackers and St. Albans Flamers, from what I've seen, that's a tough one. I wouldn't want to pick that. Hillside Dragons are going in favourites against the Safari Coast Bombers. Let's see if the Bombers, the High Elves, can change that around. We've got the West End Chaos Warriors versus the Diggers. The Diggers are full favourites to that. I'm giving 3-1 odds on Diggers versus West End Chaos Warriors, but we'll see where we go with that. Vandals versus the Chef's Knuckle Sandwich. Now the Vandals are desperately looking for a win. On this one, Chef's Knuckle Sandwich, based purely on the fact that they're higher on the ladder, I'm going to have to give them, they're favourites, 3-2 favourites, not very good at all in regards to favourites. It's going to be a very close game, but the Vandals are hungry for a win, and this could be their opportunity. Then we've got the Green Flame Hackers, the Nurgle team, versus the Point Cook Pugilists. I don't know what's happened to the Pugilists, so I'm going to have to give it to the Hackers. And I'm going to put them favourites, once again, 3-2 favourites. So not very far in front, but I'm going to be putting that. And then the top favourites for the game were the Puff Peak Pacifists versus the Evansburg Distinguished Daredevils. I'll give more information on that game for next week's update. But yeah, we're seeing 3 clear teams coming out, with the rest fighting for positions in 4, 5 and 6. So we'll see what happens when we get to the finals. It is the top 4 positions that are going to be going through to the finals. I'm not sure I'll make it top 6 or top 8. We will have to see when we get there. But for now, it's important that all teams fight at least for the top 8, especially if I want to include as many teams as possible. So keep fighting out there, get hungry, and make sure we get some wins on the board, okay? All right, that's been my week 2 update, people. All right, let me just get rid of this and come back to the screen. And that'll do it. Awesome. So thank you very much for watching. That is week 2 update, and we're going to see more consistent updates, hopefully, as the weeks go by, heading towards the finals. Okay, have a great one.